Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today I have another Civivi knife disassembly. This is the Picaro, and I want to take this guy apart and tune the action a little bit because the action's not the best. You saw I could flick it out right there, but that was with quite a bit of oomph. It's very tight. It's impossible to middle finger flick it without using a lot of wrist. And so yeah, we're just going to try and fix that. And yes, this knife is on washers, but I want to give it an action more similar to something like the Rat 1. So yeah, and it is a little bit too tight, I think. I think it really is a little bit too tight for this type of action. We can look at two other knives that are running on washers that I've gotten recently. The Blade HQ exclusive Spyderco PM2 Tanto, which was running just beautifully out of the box. And yes, I know this is more than double the price of this knife, but I also recently got this little knife, which is also on washers. Stupid smooth. Even with the thumb plate, which, whoops, there we go. Stupid smooth, and yeah, 15 bucks. So, yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this guy. If you guys haven't already, I would recommend you check out the video I did testing and disassembling the Civivi Mastodon, which, do I have that knife laying around here right now? Imagine I probably do. One of these Civivi pouches lying here somewhere. Yeah, nope, that's not it. Yeah, here he is. Yeah, I recommend you check out that video because I did not have a good time disassembling this guy. So, however, we did improve his action quite a bit, so that's always good to see. Okay, let's get started. 2 minutes in. So I'm going to go ahead and venture that all of the hardware is going to be T8s. T8 pivot. And T8 body screws. Nice. I always appreciate that from Civivi. Let's hope this guy goes apart a lot easier than the Mastodon did. And we're also going to try and take this guy apart without removing the screw or the clip. We're going to have to remove all the screws to take him apart. Okay. A little bit of oil and stuff in there. A little bit of Loctite there on the pivot. Okay, where did I put my screw holder thing? Yeah, whatever. I'll just make sure I don't lose them. Nope, we are going to take the clip off. Okay. Okay, that unscrewed nicely, but when we disassembled the Mastodon, this was a screw that gave us issues. But we are going to take the clip off because, as you can see, we cannot get to that other screw because it's under the clip. And the clip screws themselves are T6s. So, yeah. So we are going to need to use a T6 bit to disassemble this knife, which, I mean, if you did not have to mess with the clip to disassemble the knife, I'm A-okay with using T6s on the clip. But if you have to take the clip off to disassemble the knife, just make the clip screws T8 as well. Blue Loctite on there. Okay. Hopefully this video will be a lot faster than the Mastodon video was. I hope those screws don't give me trouble. If they do, I'll be very, very sad. Get out of there. There we go. Ooh. Yeah, a little bit dirty in there. As you can see, this knife is skeletonized extensively. This is not a very heavy knife despite being such a big knife. In fact, grab my ruler here. This is just about 4-inch blade. 3.9 inches. So yeah, effectively a 4-inch blade. Big old knife. Big old knife. Let's get one of my little pry tools. Alrighty. These things are great for disassembling knives because they're like plasticky and you can pry stuff apart without having to worry about scratching anything. We're actually going to do this with the blade closed because, well, that is fit in there pretty tight. Okay. Coming up a little bit. So another thing about Civivi is obviously you cannot take it apart from this side because you don't have a tooled screw here. So you have to take it apart on this side, which some people like, some people don't like. I usually like to take it apart from the lock side anyway, so it doesn't really bother me. Wow, this knife is stuck together. It's probably because of these two stop pins. You see you have a open position stop pin and a closed position stop pin, and they're both holding this in quite tightly. My goodness. Very tight indeed. I need to get out one of my bigger pry tools. Goodness gracious. Wow. Okay, I think I'm just going to pop the pivot out. Wow, then the blade fell out, but the rest of it stayed together. Wow, that is incredibly well put together. Now I have scissors. Wow, that was tight. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Wow. Look at these washers. Nice big phosphor bronze washers. Love that. It's really, really nice. This is definitely kind of a, what I would call a dirty use EDC knife. It's the type of knife that I would not be afraid to carry out on the ranch, to take to a job site, stuff like that. You know, if you're worried about your knife getting all gummed up or dirty within certain parameters of use, this is definitely a knife that I think would be nice for that type of stuff. My one thing about, you know, having a knife in a setting where it might get dirty, you know, you want to keep your knife very clean. Sometimes skeletonization actually is a detriment because if you're getting dirt and crap in there between your scales and your liners, sometimes it can cause a little bit of fitment issues, can make your knife sound all crunchy and stuff, which, you know, if it's just a working knife, it may not matter that much, but if you're kind of OCD, you know, it might bother you. Okay. Oh, I'll just wipe down the scale for the heck of it. Alright, so we're going to use some of this stuff instead of KPL, just because I like this stuff on, well, I've had this stuff for a long time, so I'm trying to get rid of it, but also it's a little bit thicker than KPL, so I like it a little bit more on washers. Okay, so let's get the pivot through all the way. So again, I've talked about this before, but Civivi does this thing where they have this little groove cut out in the back of their pivot that lines up with a notch in the G10. And, you know, it works, but, get in there. Wow, even that pivot fits very tightly. Interesting. But yeah, if you're being overzealous and you're cranking down on your stuff real hard, it can sometimes strip out a bit of gunk there in the bearings, or not bearings, the washers. Okay, get that cleaned off. Yeah, we're gonna put a little more. Wiped all the stuff I put on off. Put you there. Put a little bit on top of you. Go. Oops, get all this in screen. You know, I'm pretty sure if you guys are watching this video, you want to actually see what I'm doing. D2 blade. Civivi does a good job with their D2. They don't use it very much anymore, but it's a good steel. I like D2 quite a bit for a work knife blade steel. Especially when it's coated. You know, in my opinion, the biggest downfall of D2 is that it's not completely stainless, but I also don't rust that much D2, honestly, and I've used a lot of it in a lot of different environments, and it's always worked good for me. Again, we have like this black wash coating here. We'll show off here closer in a little bit. But yeah, you know, it's a good steel. The edge retention is really good. I mean, a good D2 can easily outlast a 154 cm, you know, stuff like that by quite a good margin. So yeah, definitely, especially for the prices you can get D2 at, just a really solid steel choice. All right, I think everything's snapping together okay. Get this drop back in there. One thing I will say, I was complaining a little bit about the, we'll go that tight for now. We'll probably have to tighten it up a little bit more here in a little bit, but that tight for now. I was talking about how taking the clip off to disassemble this knife feels a little bit redundant, stupid. Oh, that screw went in good. No free spinning. Oh, that's nice. One thing I'm glad they didn't do on this knife, though, that Civivi has done in the past, is make one of the screws for the clip a body screw. I don't like that, honestly, because then you have to take off the clip. Well, put the screw in a lanyard hole, guys. Get out of there. Wow. That was not a brilliant moment. Oops. There we go. There's where the screw's supposed to be. And hey, that one went in all right too. Centering looks like we're a little bit off. Let's loosen up just a hair. Whoops, nope, tighten it. Centering. Maybe just a hair more, just a touch. All right, before we put the clip back on, let's go ahead and see what the action's like now. Oof. Oof, that is super tight. Okay, so let's... Why did I switch? Stupid. So let's loosen that up that much. Centering is maybe a little to this side. A little bit of blade play though. I do not like blade play. We're going to cinch that down a little more. Whew. Geez, and that got so much tighter. Okay, so let's not cinch it down that much. Let's go to about there. Okay. Blade play. A little bit of lock rock, it seems like. Listen if you guys can hear this. Maybe not, maybe that'll just wear in. Okay. Yeah, still not a drop shutter, but I don't care so much about that. I'm more about ease of access. Okay, so good. Let's screw on the clip. Well, actually, first let's check all the body screws, make sure they're in all right. Okay. Alrighty. Now we can do the clip. I can get in there. There we go. Civivi does have good hardware, even their T6s. Although I am still skipping in this one just a little bit. Don't want no clip wiggle. Oh wait, yeah, that's a T6 bit I stripped out on the Mastodon that one time. There's my other T6. This one should be better. Wonder why I was skipping in there so much. Gosh, I hate T6. Okay, clip wiggle is to a minimum. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that was a lot better than the Mastodon. A lot better. And centering. Looking good. Really rockets out of there now. Okay. Yep, just need a little bit of a disassembly, some lubing, cleaning. Yeah. Okay, that is a lot better. Wow. Okay, that's nice. That is nice. Big fan of that. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's been a Civivi heavy few days for me. Well, a few weeks actually. You guys aren't really going to feel it as much, I don't think. I'm trying to kind of space my content out to separate some of the stuff, but after I unboxed all those Civivis, man, it's just had a lot of Civivis that I've been carrying. And in fact, I think I've carried a Civivi every day for the past 2 weeks, except for one day. And that was when I carried my mini Feldspar and S35VN. But yeah, I have had just, it's been Civivi out the wazoo. And yeah, I must say, I've been enjoying some of them more than others. The Mastodon was kind of disappointing to me, but the Picaro has restored some faith in Civivi to me, because the disassembly on the Mastodon really was just horrendous. This was nice. This is how a knife disassembly is supposed to go. Again, if you haven't already seen the Mastodon video, go check it out. The Picaro, been really enjoying this knife actually, and I haven't been carrying it as much as the others, but I think that's just because of circumstance. I've said this before, I'll say it again, you guys are probably sick and tired of hearing this, but you know, during the summers and winters, I'm home working on the ranch, being out in the woods, doing a lot of harder use stuff. During the school semesters, stuck in the city, doing college, and so this knife hasn't really, you know, it's big, it could be a little bit scary looking, although I must say, love this black and gray combination. Really nice. But it's just a little bit bigger than I need. You know, I really do like fidgeting with knives a lot while I'm doing homework and stuff. And so this knife just hasn't really been in the rotation as much as some of the other ones, especially, I think the one that's been in my pocket the most by far is the, where did I put him? Here he is. Baby Banter. What a useful knife. But I'm really excited to take this guy out and work with him out in some harder use environments. You know, definitely not a hard use grind. The blade is pretty thin, and it comes down to in fact, let's measure that thickness behind the edge. All right, we've got it all zeroed out. This is always kind of a hard measurement to take under the camera, so actually we're going to take it off screen. Wow. Wow, I'm getting 12 thousandths along here. 13 up towards the tip, but wow. That is, yeah, very thin, slicey knife. For sure. That's cool. That's cool. Definitely, I can use this on the ranch and stuff. Not going to be like batoning or anything with it, obviously, but this does seem like a really good working knife. Great ergos, like the D2, but yeah, and it can be easily disassembled and maintained, which is important. So that's going to be it for this video. The review of this knife will be coming at some point. Until then, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.